Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Thursday morning. Like always, guys, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. Ooh, bit of a mouthful there. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. If you haven't checked out the Telegram channel, please be sure to go and do that. All my updates there, trades, watch lists, videos I create, so feel free to check that out if you haven't done so already. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets at the top of the chat. Feel free to check them out using the link if you want to. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another stream. Forex Fox, good morning. How are you? Aussie dollar, we'll take a look. What's up, Mohammed? Welcome to the stream. Sculpey, as always, welcome back. Morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well. Welcome, Miko. Hope you're well. Hope you are doing good too, bro. Anus, as always, welcome to the stream, my man. Andreas, what is up? Good morning. Hope you're good. Lauder, what is up? Hope you are doing good. This tuna style stream always gets stuck in my head for the day. That's funny. To be fair, it's actually a pretty good song, actually. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't actually hear the music. Of course, I've heard it before multiple times, but when it's playing in the background, I don't hear it because it's through the mic. So yeah, I'm glad it's stuck in your head. Peter, what's up? Good morning. Andres, JPY. Yep, JPY pairs have gone wild. Some interesting price action. Amit, what is up? Hope you are doing good. So yeah, we'll go through some pairs. We'll go through the JPY pairs because they're starting to look a little bit interesting, especially CAD JPY for myself. And I'll go through that in detail. But yeah, I'm actually quite a big fan of this momentum because I've been talking about some counter trend moves for the yen pairs that all gone considerably high up, and it's come up to some areas where I do think the yen pairs will have a bit of a break and see some downside for them. So we'll go through them in detail, but we'll start off Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar did break through the lows there, so things are getting pretty interesting now for Aussie dollar. I'm looking for some more downside. I'm a bit weary of this level here. If I do get into any shorts, this will probably be my first target because it is a pretty big level of support and resistance, and we definitely could bounce from that area. But as we can see for Aussie dollar, we double topped at these highs here. So 1 and 2. Came to the downside, broke through some structure. Wasn't quite convinced because it wasn't a big one, but then we came and broke through some more lows. So I do like what I'm seeing now with Aussie dollar. So if we can start forming a lower high coming into this area here, I will be interested in some shorts. Excuse me. I will be interested in some shorts, trying to catch the next swing high to the downside. We've got one over here, second, and looking for the third. And this is the hourly time frame, so probably will go break even near enough around these lows here ish, depending on the entry. And we can probably target this level here. And if we can break through, we can probably go a lot further as well. But yeah, Aussie dollar is in a really nice place. Seeing some nice bearish structure as well. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out on this pair. It's interesting because Euro USD has come back to an area where I do think we can bounce higher, but then also Aussie dollar for me is looking pretty bearish where I do want to sell it. So I'm a little bit in contradiction between a couple dollar pairs. However, for the DXY, my analysis hasn't really changed. I'm still looking for some more downside for this one. Again, early in the week, I was anticipating price to come a little bit higher before we do see some dollar weakness. But of course, I'm not the judge of that. We could fall at any time, really. But it would have been nice to see a test of this level and Euro USD come and test the level, which it kind of is doing at the moment. But dollar's kind of missing out by quite a bit. So maybe there's some more upside left for dollar before we fall, or maybe we're just going to dump to the downside as we are right now. Of course, we'll wait and see. But yeah, for Aussie dollar, I think this is some really nice bearish structure. It's nice lower lows and lower highs. A little bit corrective, not the most bearish movement in the world, hence why I'm going to be a little bit more conservative, being aware of this zone here as the daily chart could of course bounce and start to see some more upside. Longer term, if we do sustain that bearish price action, I do expect us to come back to the lows there, but I'm not looking to try and capture that in one go. We'll see how price continues, but yeah, looking for some more downside for Aussie dollar. We'll go through some JPY pairs. I'll take a look at NAS, silver. I went to the buy Aussie dollar, but I already have NAS 100 and silver long. I mean, you probably can still get away with it because silver and NAS are different kind of asset classes. Silver's a commodity, and NAS 100 and indices. So they're not that correlated as you would expect. Of course, dollar's the main driving force behind all of them. So you're definitely right to be definitely being a little bit protective of that. But sometimes when I'm already in a dollar pair and I look to trade gold, I wouldn't really hesitate I'll take it as well, because sometimes gold has a bit of a mind of its own, or commodities in general, compared to the DXY. Sometimes, especially in times of fear around the world, we see gold and dollar rise at the same time. So that correlation goes out the window completely. But sometimes when you're going over the different asset classes, I wouldn't really be too worried about it. It's if you're trading like Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, or Euro USD and Pound USD, then yeah, it's practically the same trade. But again, it's up to you. It's about your risk management, your risk appetite. If you don't want to trade it because you've got those two trades floating, then by all means, don't look for the third one. There's no right or wrong, just making sure you're managing your risk at the end of the day, which looks like you are, and staying consistent with that. CHF JPY almost at my TP. Nice. We'll go take a look. Waiting all week for it. Yeah, and it comes in one day. We'll go take a look at the yen pairs. Big move to the downside. What's up, HD? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Good morning. I'm up 4% this morning thanks to gold buys and GJ sells. Nice. Yeah, I bet yen is definitely paying a lot of people and frustrating a lot of people today, because that is some heavy momentum across the board for the yen pair. So if you're on the wrong side of that, a little bit frustrating, of course, but losses are part of the game. As long as you manage your risk, then it's all good. If you weren't managing your risk and you're holding a big losing trader right now, you didn't have a stop loss in place, yeah, that's where things get a bit tricky, a bit more than tricky actually. But yen absolute move to the downside today. Very bearish move across the board. CAD yen, Swiss yen, pound yen. Yeah, looking. It's not like one pair is doing a little bit more than the rest. It's kind of all pretty equal across the board in terms of this momentum. But yeah, for CAD yen, for me, this is getting quite interesting. Because I've been talking about the consolidation quite a while, so I'm not interested until price breaks out. If we do break to the downside, I'm looking for price to come into this low, and we've seen that breakout, or potentially have seen that breakout. We've still got 11 hours and 38 minutes before the candle does close, although I highly doubt we will pull back and close above the level, although the yen pairs do have that sort of chaotic price action in them. I do think we're probably going to close somewhere below. Maybe we're going to continue falling. Maybe we're going to pull back. By the end of the day, we'll wait and see. But I am looking for some more downside into this low. However, we have broke the level by some distance. So I'm not too sure if we're going to come back for a retest. If we do, that'd be fantastic. If we don't, might have to look elsewhere. But in terms of CAD yen, this is a very impressive breakout to the downside. And I'm looking for price to move back into the lows here. I also do like CHF JPY a lot. Really nice break to the downside. I was talking yesterday about the failure to create a new high with this wick here. The fact that we kind of just double topped at the highs, not a good sign for the buyers. Again, yes, we do have higher highs and higher lows. The market is still printing those higher lows. But for a healthy trend to be healthy, you need price to be continuously making higher highs and higher lows, and continuously flowing with some nice momentum in that direction. If the market now starts to form some equal highs or some lower highs, then we might not have reversed yet, but it's a sign that the market is exhausting and getting ready to potentially reverse. So if you are looking to follow that trend, I would highly suggest waiting sidelines for the market to then create some more new highs and then look to follow. But yeah, now the market is printing those lower highs there, big wick to the upside, not a good sign for the buyers, and now we've completely melted the downside. So now my thought process is looking for some pullbacks for that counter trend move to the upside. I have no idea what happened there. For a lower high and a counter trend move to the downside. Because again, Swiss yen for me in the higher time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, it's still bullish. Do not get me wrong, but these are kind of the counter trend moves I'm looking for. Really nice impulsive momentum. Now it's my job to look for the pullbacks and the continuation. So I'm liking what I'm seeing across the board. I'm just hoping that we don't fall too much and kind of leave all of this structure behind, which we could definitely do. We could definitely do that. Yeah, someone else said they're trading pound yen. Robbie trading pound yen. I will take a look at a pound yen as well. Where's your take profit, Daniel, for the Swiss yen trade? How far are you looking at taking that one? But yeah, it's across the board here. Euro yen, Aussie yen. yeah, Aussie yen completely melted to the downside. I was looking for another retest of this level, or at least a retest, because we didn't quite do it in the first pullback. So I was hoping we could push a little bit higher. Didn't quite see that, trying to capture the third lower high, but the market is melting at this point in time. And dollar yen as well, huge moves to the downside there too. This one didn't break the lows, but then one big move happened, and now it's back at 145 there. But yeah, the yen pairs, again, I have been looking for this counter trend move, so now I'm getting a little bit excited because could be some nice trades and some pullbacks. But I'll let the momentum settle, and then I'll see where's the next best place I can look to short from. Because again, although the yen pairs are still pretty bullish, daily, weekly, monthly, the major time frames, there's still room to the downside, especially on the back of this momentum here. Okay, so I'll go through pound yen. We'll take a look at euro yen as well. I hope everyone has a successful day. Me too, man. Me too. I think DXY could reverse from here. I'm interested in long in pound USD. Okay, we'll go take a look at pound as well. Fernand, morning all. Miko, hope you're great. Ain't to quarter live in a while. Can you take a look at gold, please? No problem. We'll take a look at gold. To be fair, all props to the guy called Shiro for GJ. Some guy gave you the call for pound yen. Lauder, thank you so much. I really appreciate how you pay attention to all of us in this stream. No problem, Lauder. I mean, that's how it's got to be, because at the end of the day, I'm streaming live, with you guys. If I didn't pay attention, then, might as well turn the camera off. But, yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. Okay, so we'll go take a look at euro yen and we'll go for pound yen after. So yeah, euro yen, big move to the downside. Again, if I expand, if I go to the weekly time frame, you can see euro yen has been very bullish, coming to the upper end of this bullish channel. So we're looking for a correction, and also we have come back to some very big prices here. You can see here, last time we were here in 1998, huge move to the downside. Then 2008, huge move to the downside. Coming back to these prices, we can expect to see some type of reaction. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to have a big meltdown all the way to these lows again. Could do. But I know, generally speaking, most 8 times out of 10, we'll see some type of bearish move from here. It might just be a slight pullback to go higher. But at these prices, you can expect to see some more downside than suddenly jump into some longs. Of course, we could still break through the area. But now that we've got all of this momentum, I'm looking for Swiss yen to pull back, but euro yen to pull back as well, and see some downside. Now the thing is, for euro yen, there's not a lot of structure to operate with. We're coming back into the price swing low. Have we got there? You have actually had, to be honest, actually. So yeah, it's been a quite a hectic move there to the downside. So there isn't an area I'm looking at necessarily to short from for euro yen, because I'm not looking to buy anymore. As I've said, we've had this kind of corrective move to the upside here. I'm looking for price to do something like this, lower high and come back down. So it's now kind of positioning myself, where do I want to short? Where do I want to be looking to get involved on a pullback? And right now, with all this momentum, it's quite difficult to work out a good place. I mean, this high would be nice, but I'm not too sure if pull all the way to that extent back there. To see some more downside. It may just be some minor areas like some lows here. Again, not really too interested myself. So difficult to work out a nice place to short euro yen that's reasonable, logical. If you can see a bigger move up here, fantastic. But like I said, after this bearish day, I'm not too sure we kind of pull back all of that momentum there. So with euro yen, you probably want to be looking at some of these lows here. Not the biggest fan myself. With euro yen, we might continue a little bit further and start creating some structure, would be nice. But in terms of direction, I'm still looking for some more counter trend momentum for euro yen, but a pullback is definitely going to be needed. And this is my favorite area, but like I said, I'm not too sure we pull back all the way up there. If not, keep an eye on some of these areas, but I'll be waiting for 159. There are other yen pairs that look a little bit better than this one. such as Swiss yen myself. This one looks pretty good. Now that we've broken through this low here, I'll be interested for a pullback into this level. You can see it looks pretty reasonable for a pullback there, or even the level just slightly higher. That looks interesting there too. One of these lows here, because we broke through a lot of momentum, no retest of those areas. Looks like a nice place we can pull back and start looking for some shorts and take advantage of that momentum. So yeah, with Euro yen, Swiss yen, looking for some pullbacks into that area. Have to be patient. Pound yen, someone says hit the TP, or looking for it to hit the TP. Again, for pound yen as well, this one has been pretty sluggish to the upside, very corrected price action. So again, I'm looking for this momentum to actually break us through and see a bigger pullback. Maybe pound yen is going to be coming back to this high here. Again, very big swing high in the market, big move to the upside. I wouldn't be totally surprised seeing a push back down to 172 for pound yen on the longer term. Now, again, same thing for pound yen as with Euro yen, as with Swiss yen, as with CAD yen. Looking for a pullback for this one, because no point in looking to short the market now. I've already seen the move. Now it's time to find the next one. Of course, this would be a very nice place to short from, but it might be a similar situation with Euro yen, as in, do we see a pullback all that way? Not too sure. Not too sure if we see a pullback all that way. If it does, fantastic. I mean, we could do. We're still forming higher lows. So the market could still try and form a higher low, push up, and then fall off. So it's not absurd if you do see a pullback into that level. But yeah, with that momentum, we might be looking at some shallow pullbacks. Now we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, in terms of pound yen, more downside is looking pretty likely for this one. And like I said, if we see that bigger breakout, I'm looking at 172 down here. So we've got a long way to go before we get there, which is about 1,000 pips on pound yen. But yeah, very bearish price action across the board for the yen pairs. And as things stand, it looks like that is likely to continue. We're going to take a look at pound USD, and instead looking for some buys. Take a look at gold as well. We'll go through Euro USD too. Euro USD is coming to an interesting place for myself as well. I do think there is upside there. What's up, Albert? Yeah, we'll take a look at gold. Sergio, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. What's going on with gold? Breaking some accounts, as always, man. As always. I mean, gold is probably, I don't know. I want to see which one's the... I know Euro USD is the most traded market out there. I don't know if there is that for retail traders as well. I think it probably will be as well. But I want to see how popular gold is in context with things. Is like top 3, top 5, because a lot of people talk about gold all the time. Me myself, I do like gold, but it's not one of my most traded pairs. Anyway, so pound USD. So yeah, pound USD, we have broken out that consolidation. I've been looking at more retracement for pound USD. I've been hoping pound USD can come back down to some of these areas, but I'm not too sure we'll see such a big pullback for this one before we do see the price goes higher. But yeah, I'm favoring price for pound USD to maintain that uptrend. Now I'm looking this kind of phase of the market at the moment as just another pullback, price getting ready for a continuation higher. So with pound USD, I am also looking at buys, but I'm not really looking at buys. I'm looking at Euro USD for buys, but I can see a similar move on pound USD. I just prefer the price action on Euro myself. But for pound USD, I'm expecting a similar move to the upside. We have come back to some areas where we didn't get a retest, and now we are getting a retest of that. You can see here on the left, nice resistance, broke through, no pullback on the full H to retest that level. Now we have come and we've seen a nice reaction there to the upside. So if you are looking at buys for pound USD, I think this is a nice area to start looking for some buys. However, price action is still pretty bearish in my view. We're still seeing lower lows and lower highs. So I would wait for the markets to start at least placing some higher highs and higher lows. And then we can start looking at taking advantage of some pullback somewhere too long. But yeah, I do like the idea of pound USD buys. Again, for myself, I'd still rather a bigger pullback for this one before I engage. Hence why I do like Euro a little bit better, because Euro's had a pretty substantial pullback and it's come into a very, very nice area myself. I'll take a look at Euro USD in a bit more detail in a moment. But it was sort of kind of seeing a similar move. Euro USD retrace, Pound USD retrace. It's just that Euros had a bigger retracement and it's coming into a really, really nice area. So that's why I prefer Euro. But yeah, I can probably see something similar happen on Pound USD coming back into this area here as well. So yeah, if Pound USD can start breaking out that bearish structure on the hourly, then I do expect to see price push back to highs and probably beyond that as well at 1.27224. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Pound USD. Euro USD, looking at something very, very similar as well. I really like the pullback here with Euro. Pound CGF, yep, we'll add that to the list. It's no problem. Gold is my bread and butter. It's all I trade with the exception of US30 every now and then. Oh, really? I didn't know that, to be fair. I didn't know that at all, Sculpey. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I mean, gold is very, very popular. Very, very popular. What is your most traded pair, bro? Maybe an exotic one. My most traded pair, I need to actually go and check my actual data to give you the fact of my most traded pair. But off the top of my head, I think it's NZD CAD, to be fair. I think it's NZD CAD. I need to check my journal. But I think it sends the CAD. If not, then it might be Euro USD. It might be Euro USD or Pound USD. One of those two. But I think it sends the CAD. Surprisingly, I take quite a lot of trades in the CAD. It just has not the nicest trends in the world, but very clear trends in terms of the structure. You can see, okay, downtrend, uptrend. It's not necessarily a lot of momentum or the cleanest pair, but in terms of finding out the trend, it's pretty straightforward with NZD CAD, I find, and Euro USD and Pound USD as well. So I think it's one of those three. Maybe I can be completely wrong. It might be like Pound Yen. I know I do trade Pound Yen quite a bit, but yeah, I think it's NZD CAD. Anyway, let me go for Euro USD. So as I said with Euro, I like this one a little bit better than Pound USD because it's had a bigger pullback and it's come to a nice area. But essentially, I'm looking for a very similar move to happen with Euro USD as well, which is a move like this, which is a pretty big move, to be fair. If we measure that in pips, we're looking at about 250 pip move, which is pretty big for Euro. Euro is not necessarily the most populated pair with pips. You're looking at your golds, your Pound Yens, your Pound Aussies. Those have a lot of pips. Euro USD catching 250 pips on Euro is pretty impressive in my book. Yeah, for Euro USD, I'm looking for a big move to the upside. Not that I'm looking to stay that long, but I'm looking to see if I can be a part of the journey there. So with Euro come back into a nice level, you can see really nice momentum on the left here. We broke that level for a lot of momentum, never had the retest of this area. Now we have come into the level, and we've come to the level very nicely as well. It's quite corrective as well. Not necessarily showing a lot of signs of a big reversal at play. So although, of course, nothing's 100%, nothing's guaranteed, I am looking for the market to start breaking some structure and start giving me some higher highs and higher lows. So as you can see, Euro USD has been pretty consistent with the lower lows and lower highs. So the trend has continued pretty well, but I'm looking for that to come into a halt soon enough. And I'm looking for some upside now. We can start breaking some structure, see some higher highs, higher lows. I do think we can probably find some nice trades to take to the upside. And back to 1.1, which is near enough the high over there, just above it. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at for Euro now. I'm really liking the price action, looking to take Euro to the upside. DXY potentially could look to fall as well. I've been talking about DXY. I was hoping for a move a little bit higher up because this is like the corresponding level to Euro USD. So it would have been nice if you can catch Euro USD and DXY at the same level. That would be a very, very nice confluence, but DXY is a little bit behind. It doesn't mean DXY can't, of course, fall off from here. It can do that from anywhere, really. But it would have been nice if DXY could pull back a little bit deeper. But yeah, I'm essentially expecting another lower high for DXY to come back and test these lows here. And I'm still looking at this move as being a pullback. So in terms of the direction, dollar weakness I'm favoring, Euro USD upside I'm favoring. You just need to wait for some structure to start breaking on Euro and even DXY as well. DXY is kind of just, to be fair, on the hourly, looks like we are starting to break through some of these lows. However, not the most convincing one in the world. If DXY can start doing stuff like this, then yeah, we've probably got a trade in our hands on Euro to take back up again. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro USD. Yep, I'll take a look at gold now. I'll look at EuroCAD as well. Longs EuroCAD looking to move to break even before I attempt Aussie dollar longs, possible SPX longs today as well, but not until New York session. Okay, interesting. We'll take a look at those pairs as well. I haven't looked at the indices yet. I prefer pound USD because it's stronger than I find Euro weak. That's why I prefer long in pound USD. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think pound USD does have it does pack a bit more of a punch than Euro. Euro is kind of like a nice tamed one, but I feel like Euro is quite consistent. Same thing, pound USD, quite consistent pairs. Not going to expect anything too crazy for them, but in terms of how they move, it's pretty consistent across the board. You got some other pairs which have weird phases like pound Aussie or something, or pound New Zealand dollar, which are a little bit more choppy, a little bit more difficult to trade on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, Euro USD, pound USD. Again, I don't necessarily prefer pairs, quote unquote. I do, if I had to pick, I would say the dollar pairs I prefer the most. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for opportunities across the board. My watch list, the pairs I trade is a quite wide spectrum. So I'm always just picking whichever pairs look the best to me. Sometimes it might be the dollar pairs, sometimes it might be the yen pairs, sometimes it might be the cross pairs, sometimes it might be, gold and silver. So not too fussed really about the pair I'm trading as long as it makes sense. But still early, I want to see more upside. Yeah, similar with Euro as well. They're kind of still giving us some bearish structure across the board. Scalpy, I used to trade FX pairs as well, but I find how I scalp gold is my biggest earner, so I cut out the noise, everything else, and just study gold. Makes a lot of sense as well. Whatever's working, push that more. Whatever's not working, either stop trading it or reduce it a lot. Because again, we are running businesses here. At the end of the day, we are running trading business. We're looking to make money from trading here. And if you can assess your business, see where money's being lost unnecessarily, why would you keep, operating that of your business? If you had a business, you had a shop, let's say, and you're selling products, and one of your products is just not making, any returns really, and why do you keep selling it? It's either you're going to look to sell it in a different way, or improve the product, or just discard the product. And you need to make that decision pretty quickly. And same with trading as well. If the pairs are not, if a certain asset class or certain type of pairs or certain pattern or whatever is not doing it for you, look to try and change it away and improve it, or just discard it and focus on what is actually working, which again saves you time as well. You don't have to look at other pairs as well. It makes you more efficient, which is, at the end of the day, what we're all working on. How can we achieve more with less risk? That's the goal. Okay, so I'll go for gold. A few people looking at gold. So yeah, gold, I'm looking at upside for this one as well. I still do prefer silver, so that's still where my attention lies. I'll go take a look at silver in a moment, but gold, I'm still looking for another move to the upside. We just kind of missed this area of confluence a little bit with these high lows and that level there, only by like a small margin. So technically I kind of consider this as a test, but you can see there is a little bit of a gap there. But hey, the market ain't perfect. So we have seen a nice bounce coming into this area. It would be nice to see one more kind of sell off before a bigger push to the upside, but I'm not too sure if gold has it in it anymore. At the moment, gold is quite sluggish, I have to say. We have seen a nice drop to the downside, but since then, gold's kind of been slowly moving to the upside. So I wouldn't really look to do anything right now with gold, to be honest. I want to wait for the next kind of move. Do we kind of move up, break some structure? Things get interesting at that point, possibly a pullback and then some buys. Or do we have one more move to the downside and then start pushing to the upside? Then things will get interesting after that. At the moment, I wouldn't try and guess what gold's going to do next. It's a little bit too chaotic. We are coming back to some resistance at the moment. Potentially might form a lower high, but again, not really interested with the shorts with gold. I'm more interested with the longs. I still do think gold's going to come back up to 2070, which is that all-time high resistance, and potentially the highs there as well, 2148 as well. So yeah, with gold, I'm looking at more upsides. However, being patient there. Price action for me is a little bit rubbish. I'm not a fan of this kind of sluggish corrective momentum. Not a lot of good quality momentum. You want to see price kind of showing us the way, pulling back, and then we're looking to capture the continuation. Gold at the moment is kind of doing neither or. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on gold. Not really seeing a clear setup at the moment, but I do favor more upside. Silver, similar, but at least this one's got a bit more of a clear trend to it, which is bearish, but similar for Euro USD. I'm waiting for price to start giving me something like this, and then I'm expecting silver to start flying to the upside. We're coming into a nice level here on the daily chart, which is this former resistance, now turned support. Could be a nice place. We do form a higher low for another big push to the upside. So I do like where we're coming into for silver. So yeah, my main focus is silver. It's a little bit cleaner to me than gold. I can make a bit more sense of it. Thank you so much, Toxicop, for subscribing. But yeah, I'm looking for price to do something like this for silver and take it back up again. And of course, silver and gold, they move very, very similar. Thank you so much, Annika, for subscribing. They move very similar. So yeah, if silver's going to move up, gold's going to move up too, and vice versa, really. Okay, so I'll go through pound CHF. We'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. If I have missed out your pair, just let me know. I'll go through some indices too. Check pound CAD for a buy. Yep, we'll take a look. I'll go through pound CHF next. Any plans for NFP tomorrow? No, not really. Again, with NFP, it's just kind of another news event for myself, which again, I'm not, I don't necessarily look to trade. I don't necessarily look to not trade it. If I got a trade open, then I will hold it through NFP. I wouldn't trade just before it though, because then put myself at unnecessary risk of increased spread, getting slipped and whatnot. If I'm holding a trade from the day before, that's different. But if it's like an hour or two before the news, I would hold back. But apart from that, I'm just going to see what happens with NFP, see how it moves the market. Again, normally after NFP, for the past couple of NFPs, there've been some really nice opportunities off the back of that. So I think yeah, NFP just means more opportunities, more momentum, and necessarily just looking for some pullbacks for that. But yeah, no real kind of plan for NFP. You know, just another trading day, another day in the office. Okay, so we'll take a look at JP225. We'll take a look, use market profile for guaranteed billions in profit. Yeah, I'm not too sure there's an indicator out there that guarantees billions in profit. But thanks for the shout though. FX Wolf, good morning. Hope you are well. Didier, what is up? Hope you're keeping well. As with you too, I can't believe your channel has grown so much. Congrats, appreciate it. When was the last time you were on the channel, Didier? I remember because I used to, every time I read your name, I keep thinking Didier Drogba. So that's why your name stands out. Only other Didier I know is Didier Drogba. Anyway, so let me go through pound CHF. Pound Swissy. Okay, so yeah, pound CHF is looking interesting. This is on my watch list and we're starting to see a breakout now. So things have become very, very interesting now for pound CHF. I am still looking at a move back down to these lows here at 1.08. Things are starting to shape up quite nicely. So I do think we can see a move back down to this low. Eventually, probably these lows here. I think this was COVID. No, it wasn't. That was COVID. What was this? This was Russia-Ukraine. Yeah, September 22, I think. Is that Russia-Ukraine? Or was that just a crazy drop? When was Russia-Ukraine? It wasn't September, was it? Let me go to gold. Yeah, it was February. March 2022. What happened in September? Can't even remember. Was pound just weak or CHF doing some craziness? Anyway, just got sidetracked there. But yeah, I'm looking at more downside back down to this level here. I've been talking about pound CHF saying that price is just consolidating, but if it can break to the downside, I do think we'll see the continuation back to the lows here. Price has been very, very bearish. Will look like we're holding on to this level here, which is a big level, 1.11, just underneath it anyway. Looks like the market's holding onto that level. So now I'm anticipating another bearish swing back to the lows here at 1.08. So the plan is looking for a retest. The breakout hasn't been the best breakout in the world. It's quite sluggish still, but I'll see how I react. And if we see some nice price action, I will look to short and anticipate the market falling a much lower. Probably looking at some of these areas for targets, this high here, this low here as well. Some interesting areas we can look at to target. But yeah, pound CHF, I'm looking at a lot more downside. It is on the watch list. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on that pair. But yeah, hopefully that made sense for pound CHF. We'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. And pound CAD too. We'll go for JP225 as well. Daniel Seb 22 was Liz Truss. Oh yes, thank you. It was Liz Truss, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that. All the pound pairs were dropping. That's when pound USD went past the all-time lows with pound against the dollar. I remember that now. Yeah. Oh yeah, the budget as well. Yeah, I remember that. That was interesting times. Liz Truss was a interesting character. Thank you so much, Make Food Center, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Didier, probably a year ago. Okay, when I started 3 years ago, your channel just started and it helped me so much with my trading. Just watching your market breakdown. Nice, Didier. Nice. Wow. Yeah, I did start my channel 3 years ago. You were on it since then. Crazy. But yeah, time has flown, to be fair. It doesn't really feel like 3 years, but it has been. It has been. But yeah, glad to see you're doing well back on the channel. Hope everything is good with you. Any pairs you're looking at today? Feel free to let us know. But we'll take a look at EuroCAD and pound CAD. Where is EuroCAD? Nope, that's EuroCAD. Okay, so yeah, as I touched on EuroCAD yesterday, this is just in the middle of nowhere for me. So I'm not really looking to do too much with EuroCAD. You can see EuroCAD on the higher time frame. The market's kind of just ranging. We've got more or less equal highs up there, more or less equal lows down here. Now the market's pretty much 50% of the range. We're not near the high, we're not near the low. We're pretty much slap bang in the middle. So there's not a lot to do here with EuroCAD. When we're ranging the market, at least if we're high or we're low, we can use that to our advantage. But if in the middle, this is where the most speculation, happens. We can fluctuate a lot. We can push down. We can push back up again. There's not a lot of clarity here. I don't have a lot of edge in this particular area. I'm looking for trending markets. This is definitely not one of them. And if we're in the range, at least be near the high or the low. But here we're kind of in the middle. So With EuroCAD, I don't really have much to say with this one. If this again was me going through the market in my own time for my personal trading, I'll take one look at this on the higher time frame and move on to the next pair pretty swiftly. Not a big fan of this price action at all. So yeah, with EuroCAD, if we can start pulling back higher, pulling back lower, we can probably find a bit more of an opportunity at those prices. But right now, not seeing much. This trend could continue a little bit more. We could pull back up. I don't have much edge here, and we're quite corrective now, so we might see a pullback up, but I wouldn't bet on it myself. So yeah, EuroCAD, don't really have much to say with this one. Very, very poor market conditions, and yeah, horrible price action. I'll take a look at pound CAD though. That was a little bit better, and we'll go through some indices as well. HD on account on 5k. What lot do you advise me to use? Again, if you're looking for your lot size to calculate your risk per trade, make sure you go use a pip calculator, because again, it depends on your stop loss size, depends on your pair trading. I don't know if you have a 10 pip stop loss or a 50 pip stop loss. And of course, if you have a 10 pip stop loss or a 50 pip stop loss, then the lot size you're going to use is going to be very, very different across the board. So go find a pip calculator on Google. You can of course install softwares onto your MT4 or MT5, things you can add to it to calculate your lot size. There's many different ways to do it, but I wouldn't try and just have one just because of the sake of it. Calculate what your lot size should be based on your stop loss, based on your account balance, and based on the risk you want to take per trade. Again, I would always advise, if it's a prop firm challenge account you're doing the 5k, then I would say start 0.5% risk, and then once you get yourself a little bit of buffer, whether it's 1% or 2% buffer, then you can look to increase your risk to 1.5%. But if you're just starting out the challenge fresh, I would say stick to 0.5. At least that gives you kind of 20 trades to work with. If your drawdown's 10%, that's 20 is a good enough amount to use. And if you need to lower it at a certain point, you can lower it at a certain point as well. But 0.5 is good, and then you can push on once you in some profit and take advantage of the profit you've already made. But yeah, go find a pip calculator. I use Baby Pip's lot size calculator tool. Pretty handy. Did you watch your take on pound USD? Okay, we'll go take a look at that one. Yeah, I use 40 pips around there. Yeah, just go take a look at a lot size calculator. What time frame do you trade on for 40 pips stop loss? Is it hourly time frame? 30-minute time frame? I suppose 40 pips is normally like an hourly stop loss, I would say. It's a little bit too shallow for 4H, but you could probably get away with it on the 4H, but that's probably more hourly time frame, 40 pips. Okay, so I said I was going to go through some indices, didn't I? Yes, no, pound CAD, then I'll go through some indices. Okay, so yeah, pound CAD, I was looking for some buys for this one, not quite planning out how I wanted it to. I was talking about this area here at the start of the week. We've of course got this bullish trend here in the market. I'm looking for us to see if we can get back to the highs there at 1.73. Again, market has been very, very choppy here for pound CAD, as well as say pound CHF. For pound CADs, I have been very reluctant to find any trades, but I'm essentially looking for us to clear this range out, and then I'll be looking for my opportunities above this level here, and then looking for some buys, because right now it's kind of 50-50. We could break lower, we could break higher. If we can at least start breaking through this area, I know that, okay, we probably are holding that level, and we probably are going to see a continuation higher. So this is kind of what I'm looking for pound CAD, for me to actually get into some buys. I'm still very bullish on the pair. We haven't really broken through the daily level. We're still kind of holding to the trend line there. So it does still look bullish to me, but I need to see a bit more evidence that the market is actually going to push higher. So if we can get that break of structure on the 4H stroke hourly time frame, we probably are going to see that continuation back to 1.73035. So that's essentially what I'm looking for this one. But the conditions here, very, very choppy, difficult to find a good entry. So I'm waiting for that level to snap first at least. Let me go through some indices now, and we'll bring it back to pound USD as well. Yeah, it's a funded account. Thanks for the advice. No problem. Happy to help. Robbie, will GJ flip bullish and reject 182? I wouldn't bet on it. It depends how far rejection you're looking at as well. If you're looking at a few pips to the upside, maybe. If you're looking at price starting to skyrocket and form a higher low, I'm fancying price forming a lower high and coming back down. So, I want price to pull back. Will we pull back from 82? I have no idea. It's coming to a nice area of demand there. We might see a reaction. Again, not really my type of trade. I'm looking for price to give me a little higher than short. Effectively, this is the only area I can consider shorting from. So, I want to see retracement, but I wouldn't look to buy. This is a very, very big move to the downside. Trying to catch what's the saying? Pinhead? Is that a pin drop? I don't know. You're trying to catch a falling knife essentially, which is difficult to do. Very, very difficult to do. Who's to say that we can't see another bearish kind of pushing further? So yeah, we potentially could reject 182 and see some upside, but I wouldn't bet on it myself. Anyway, let me go through some indices. So I'll start with the old JP225. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. Oh, wow. Damn, that's a big drop. Last time we spoke in this one was yesterday. I was pointing the fact that price is kind of consolidating and I didn't really have a clear-cut bias, but now price absolutely melted the downside. Yeah, that's kind of sorted out that bias. We've rejected the high very, very aggressively. Of course, this move does make sense because, of course, we can see the yen pair doing some craziness as well. So it does kind of make sense. But yeah, I have to say I will be expecting some more downside here for JP225. We've got a lovely level of broken support now. Now we turn resistance. I like the momentum as well because we have cleared the consolidation. I wasn't too sure if this would be a big fake out, but price has cleared that up for me with another lower high. So probably expect a bit more downside, maybe back into this low here on the left, and then maybe we possibly might go higher after. Because again, the market is still overly bullish. Let's not forget, even with this down move, doesn't really change anything in the grand context. You can see the market is still pushing up, 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 up. So even this big bearish move here doesn't make a dent in the overall trend. So, it's important not to get too carried away with this bearish candle. Yes, we might see some more downside off the back of that, but possibly coming back into some of these areas, I wouldn't be surprised if we are, going to form another high low and work our way back up again. So yeah, I am still longer term bullish, but after this momentum, the lower highs we've just seen, some shorts on the retests of a level look pretty good. If this can load. Hello. Wow, that is a very long time to load. Has my internet cut? No. My internet is fine. It's like trading view is bugging up a little bit. Hello. Come in. Yeah, this is taking ages. What's going on? Wait, let me just check if my internet is... Yeah, my internet is fine, I think. Yeah, my internet is good. Try and refresh the page. Good idea. Hey, that's why they pay you the big bucks, Anus. That's why you're moderator, mate. Solving out these problems. Yeah, that was a pretty That made a lot of sense. Refresh the page. Duh. But yeah, appreciate that, Anus. You just sorted that out, because I was gonna sit there and wait for price for the page to load. Yeah, essentially looking for a pullback and continuation there. Really nice break to the downside. But yeah, that kind of explains it. All the yen pairs having a party and the index having one too. For the other indices, US 100, this one's still dancing at the high there. I was touching on this one a lot. Not yesterday, on Tuesday, sorry. Saying that's not a good sign for US 100, fading at the highs here. And again, yesterday's candle, big wick to the upside. Now, we kind of are just still quite choppy. I wouldn't say things are totally cleared up. I was talking about this area of consolidation here. I said that this is a big fake out. Price came lower. I said we can potentially retest the low of the consolidation and then head lower from that. But we kind of closed back in and then saw a move to the downside. So I do still expect to see a move like this happen for US 100 back to 15.56. However, in terms of finding an entry, not seeing a clear one. Maybe if we move back up again, back to the same resistance, that could make sense for a place to enter. But at the moment, yeah, it's a little bit rough, I have to say. I mean, the overall condition of the market here is very, very rough. Not like a clean trend we're seeing of lower lows and lower highs, pullbacks, retests. This overall price action here is very, very choppy. Nonetheless, though, we are fading at the highs, so I do suspect us to come a lot lower, at least retrace. It might just be a pullback, for something like that. Could be a reversal, we'll find out. But all I can see is that we are fading at the highs here. We've had a few attempts to try and break through. I'm expecting to see another move lower. We did break through this area here, no retest, so we do have an incentive to head lower, come back, retest that same level. So yeah, for NAS, I do expect some more downside for this one, and then probably a bigger push higher. But yeah, I'm not really seeing a good place to enter really, or a good time. The conditions are just all over the place. S&P 500, this one equally as we're kind of just rejecting the highs a little bit. Again, I wouldn't be so keen to jump into some sells just yet. I want to see price kind of breaking through some lows, and then we can kind of consider some shorts. Looks like we are starting to form some lower highs, but I want to see price actually start breaking through some structure first before shouting that S&P is likely to come back down again. But yeah, S&P trading at some big highs here, so I do think retracement is likely, and we might still go higher. But someone said they're looking to long S&P 500, and yeah, the market is still bullish. I can see why you're looking to long it. However, we've come back into a big high. Now is not the best time to be looking to long S&P. If we can break the highs, then yeah, we're seeing a revitalize of that trend. Revitalization, is that the right word? Don't know. We're seeing the trend come healthy again, but at the moment we're kind of stalling a little bit, and I would favor us seeing some downside rather a sudden move higher. But yeah, for S&P, I'd rather wait for some sales for this one. Not confirmed yet. We're still kind of in a consolidation, but if we can start breaking through some lows, I think something like that becomes very, very interesting. Something similar to US 100. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at across the board for the indices. I'll take a look at pound USD as well. It's the app because we're still here and see. Okay, yeah, that's so true. Yeah, man, like Anus 100% sorting things out. Yes, I'm experiencing trading view slow. Yeah, I mean, I have experienced that a few times lately as well. Never that long though. Never that long. That was Paul from TradingView. What's up, Rudy? Hello from Belgium. No way, from Belgium. Whereabouts in Belgium? I only know like 2 or 3 places purely from football, to be honest. But yeah, whereabouts in Belgium? Silver, yeah, let me go take a look at silver. So silver is still my watch list, been my watch list for the past couple of weeks, and I do prefer it a lot to gold. But yeah, I'm looking for some buys for this guy, and we're near enough coming into the zone here. So I am looking to see if we can bounce from silver. I was expecting to see a bigger bounce from this area, but it didn't really amount to anything. Again, I'm waiting for price to start, at least give me higher highs and higher lows. The fact that we just broke through wasn't a good sign. So I'm looking for the bigger buy for silver. You can see we are quite corrective now as well. Still seeing some lower lows and lower highs as we continue. However, you can see the price action is quite sluggish, very corrective. Normally, typically, this means that the bearish trend is ending soon, exhausted. I'm expecting price to reverse higher. So I'm like what I'm seeing here for silver. I do think a big move to the upside is imminent. However, again, it's all about timing, not looking to jump into the market just because you have a bias, but because there's a good opportunity. So need to wait for that to actually come into fruition, and then I can be I can be looking to buy, essentially looking for my pullbacks and my continuations to push price back to the upside. So with silver, this is what I'm looking at, the level I'm looking to buy from, or the opportunity I'm looking to take advantage of. Hasn't quite formed yet, because of course the market is still bearish, but we are in a vicinity where that could start to take place, could start to shape up. And of course, from a higher time frame standpoint, my bias, my direction, the swing I'm looking to take advantage of is already planned in my head. So now just waiting for an entry to take advantage of it when the market becomes bullish again. But you can see overall the market is quite messy, but if you do expand to the higher time frames, I'm looking at this as just a big pullback for the market to continue back higher, which essentially is back to the highs there. So I'm expecting this move to continue higher. I'm looking at this big bearish candle on the weekly, those 3 bearish candles on the daily, is just another pullback for price to come a lot higher. Again, not necessarily looking to capture the full move to the upside in one go, but I'll let you see what I can do to take a part of it. So yeah, still pretty bullish for silver. Euro USD I'll take a look at as well. We'll go through pound USD first and take a look at euro. I know you don't care about the news, but what's your take on today's news? Let me actually go take a look at today's news. You can see how much I care about the news. In fact, I have to go and Google it to see what it is. Again, the big news events like NFP, FOMC, I'm definitely aware of those guys. But the little ones like jobless claims or even PMI can sometimes move the market a bit. But again, I can't avoid news, and I've traded for a while, back tested multiple years. As long as I'm managing my risk, news can't really hurt me too much. Yes, I can get slipped from time to time. That's just a price I have to pay for being a little bit less conservative when the news comes. But as a intra-week trader or swing trader, it's difficult for me to avoid the news. So I just trade for it. But of course, big ones I definitely do stay aware of, because I don't want to be entering just before them and being slipped a big amount. But okay, so today's not Friday, today's Thursday. Yeah, so we do have jobless claims coming out today at 1:30. Again, we may see a bearish dollar off the back of that, which I suppose is kind of what I want to see, because if I have a bearish dollar, that means kind of silver, Euro USD probably be breaking structure higher, and then maybe some pullbacks later on. But then we do have NFP tomorrow. I wonder what that will do. Hope that doesn't just send price higher. But yeah, we might see a bearish dollar off the back of this. But yeah, that's just me thinking out loud, really. That's just me thinking out loud, not really looking to throw out a buy saying that's what the market's going to do. It might do that, it might not do that. Quite frankly, I'm just going to wait to see what it actually does and then adjust. Because again, price action is my news. A lot of the time, you can see kind of you can see what the news may do based on price action. Not all the time, of course, but a lot of the time you can see news getting priced in, and then slightly the market takes off and does whatever it needs to do. But yeah, we'll go through euro and pound. Turn off the news, the charts tell the story, someone said. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. I can't remember, there's a saying around it. I can't remember about the price in news. But so yeah, essentially, price action encompasses it, because if you understand what price action is the study of how participants behave in the market. Price action isn't just a random pattern that just happens to form. People typically react similar ways to similar events, throughout time. So that kind of behavior gives patterns, and those patterns are your head and shoulders, your break and retest, your whatever strategy trading. That's the pattern that is the result of that. So when you're studying price, you're actually studying people. You're studying how people operate in the market. Therefore, the patterns actually have a lot of meaning. They actually have a lot of significance, because if you can see the way people are operating, you can see that what the overall outcome most likely will be. So, with fundamentals, with sentiment analysis, or whatever, that's all kind of priced in with price action itself. Of course, when the news comes out, people do stuff, then you can read the price action and operate from that, which is why I think understanding price action is so important. Of course, understanding fundamentals is important as well if you're going to incorporate on your trading. But I would say that with trading, you can't just be a fundamental trader and then be you can't just be a fundamental trader by yourself. You have to have some technicals. You can be a technical trader without fundamentals, but you can't be a trader with just fundamentals without technicals, because technicals is how you enter, sell, exit, take profit, take a loss. You can't do that with fundamentals by itself. So technicals are very, very important. And if you understand them well, you don't necessarily need fundamentals. But yeah, a lot of the time it's already priced in. Where was I? I trade news with the help of ChatGPT. No way. I've been kicking them for months. No way. I've never thought about that, actually. I've never thought about that. Isn't there like a rule with ChatGPT that it can't speculate on stuff? Like you can't ask, what will Tesla stock do in the next year or something. Like, it's not allowed to speculate and stuff. But I've never actually thought of that, to be fair. Never thought of asking about the news. Might have to check that out. Anyway, so I was going to go through pound USD and euro. Okay, so euro USD, what's cooking here? So yeah, euro USD, as I've said, I'm looking for more upside. However, nothing at play yet. We have tested my level. I wasn't too sure if we're going to come back into the level what we did, so I'm happy for that. Now I want to see price start giving me some bullish structure. I do think we can plan some really nice buys for this one. Longer term, I'm looking at euro USD coming back to the highs here at 1.1. So I'm looking for a big move to the upside for euro, about 250 pips. Not all at one go, but that's where do you see euro USD eventually ending up. Same thing kind of for pound USD, although I would have liked a bit more of a pullback for pound. But it does look like we have had a nice correction here, and I'm looking for pound USD to go back to the highs as well at 1.272. So the plan here for pound USD is more upside. I'm not really focused on this one. I'm more focused on euro. But essentially, again, very, very similar pairs. I'm expecting them to do a similar move. So euro USD push, pound USD push. I'm expecting dollar to fall. Now, again, how the news will react, I don't know. Maybe the news might take us up before coming down, or we might just dump to the downside. Either which way, though, I am dollar bear going forward. So, yeah, hopefully that made sense. But, yeah, pound USD, I was looking for a bigger correction in some of those areas. Not too sure what happened. Pound USD is looking a lot better than euro. Seeing some upside there on the 4H. Euro still a little bit bearish, but pound does still have some work to do to start breaking through some highs, printing some higher lows. But yeah, it looks like we could be starting to shift. Maybe prices getting a little bit excited for the news coming out soon. But yeah, I'm expecting price to continue higher for both of them, but we shall see. Maybe the news might have something to do with that. Where was I? Have I missed out on any pairs? I don't think I have. I did silver, didn't I? Did Euro USD, did Pound USD. If I have missed out a pair, just drop it in the chat. Is that GDP? Okay. Okay, so quick view on Euro AUD. Okay, we'll take a look as well. No problem. Bonjour, Cell, my French friend. Miko, what's your return on investment this year? I think just across the 30% mark from coming into December. Yeah, the past 2-3 months have not been the best this year. Most of my profit has been made the first 6-7 months of the year. That's where most of my profit has been made. Past 2-3 months haven't been great this year, to be honest. But hoping for a good December. And again, a lot of people don't like trading Decembers, but for me, December's actually been pretty good. December last year was pretty good. Can't remember the year before that, but December last year was pretty good. And so far, I'm seeing some really good price action across the board December. A lot of people I see online saying, don't trade December, don't trade December. For me, it's just another month. I mean, of course, you can do whatever. You don't have to trade December. Oh my God, what happened there? Is the stream still on? I accidentally just locked my computer there. I'm having a stinker today. Issues with the stream still on? I think so. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Did the screen black out? But yeah, I accidentally clicked the lock button on my keyboard. That's not really a handy place to have the lock button. Anyway, what was I saying? December. So yeah, a lot of people don't like trading December. And I can obviously understand, of course, late in the month, past like the 21st, 22nd, momentum would definitely die down. A lot of people on holiday, and a lot of the big players, holidays across the board. So I can understand like the 20th to like the 1st or the 2nd of January. That time is going to be a lot less momentum. Trades will be hard to come by. There'll be holidays thick and fast. You got Boxing Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve. So there's holidays all over the shop. So I can understand not looking to trade that period, and I probably might take some time off that period as well. But from now to like the 20th of December, there's some really good trades to be had. I've back tested throughout the years. There's some really nice trades, and especially if NFP can provide some nice momentum. I think there could be some really nice trades off the back of that as well. And look at the JPY pairs. The JPY pairs are plummeting. This is some really nice momentum. And this is the 7th of December. So of course I can understand people saying, okay, I don't want to trade December and take it off. That's perfectly fine, but you don't want to do it blindly just because someone said so. It's similar to August as well. August is a bit of a slow month. There's still opportunities there in August, of course. If you want to take August off, feel free to take August off. You don't have to trade August, but there is still some nice opportunities in August. It's going to be a little bit slower, yes. December's going to be a little bit slower, yes. But there's still nice opportunities across the board. Where was I? Well said. Then I see sometimes people laugh at price action. Yeah, very, very true. You're not wrong, mate, but if trading on lower time frames, it's always best to be aware. Of course. If you're on the lower time frames, you got to be aware of the news. Because again, the only reason why you want to be aware of the news, not the only reason, of course, if you want to study fundamentals. If you want to protect yourself in the market, if you're solely a technical trader, then you want to view the news as a potential risk in your trading. Because if you're on the lower time frames, you can get slipped very badly. Spreads widen as well. You can get stopped out unnecessarily as well. So you want to be aware from a risk standpoint, not necessarily because, okay, the numbers are this now, for I'm going to buy gold, or whatever. If you're a technical trader, you have your system, you have your plan, you have your routine. You want to trade that to the best of your ability. You want to be aware of the news purely from a risk standpoint, because things can go wrong with the news. As you said, it's got to be, particularly in the lower time frames, you need to be careful. So, of course, with me, I got slightly wider stop losses. I can take on the news a little bit more head on. But of course, even the big ones, FOMC, NFP, I'm definitely going to be aware of those guys, because they can still be very dangerous. So, from a risk standpoint, you got to be aware. Aussie dollar, I'll take a look at. I'll go through UAD first. I haven't forgotten FX Wolf. It's crazy. I saw gatekeeping. I later saw someone explain that strategy on TikTok. Oh, wow. I mean, TikTok is crazy. So many little fast videos. And again, it's so bad because, people are doing like little short clips of like a whole strategy. Like, trade's not something you learn in 7 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. I can understand you can give a little bit of value, but hey, it's the world we live in today. Hey Miko, hope you're doing well. Join late. Any potential setup for today? Yeah, I'm personally looking at silver, Euro USD for some longs. I'm keeping an eye on Aussie dollar as well. Pound CHF looks good for a retest. And I think that's kind of where my focus is. No other pair I'm looking at, there are other pairs, but they're probably later in the week, if not next week. But the main pairs I'm looking at for now are those pairs, which I'll probably go over in a second. Let me just go through some other people's pairs that they requested. I've put my valuation on hold over Christmas, but I'm still trading my private account as I need to keep up with the Christmas list. I understand. Sell, great. Miko, 30% is decent when you have a good equity. Of course. It's not about, achieving crazy percentages. Of course, if you do, fantastic, but you have to be able to sustain that. You have to be able to sustain that for a long time, which for me is the most difficult part, because over the course of trading, I can say from my own experience, there's over the course of trading, you have times where you're very, very confident in yourself, everything's going well, and there's times where things are not going well. Your confidence drops, you're a bit more hesitant with your trades. It doesn't even matter if you've been profitable for ages. You always will go through these spells of doubt. If you look at professional athletes across the board, some professional athletes, top of their game, go through some bad times. Confidence takes a hit. Nothing for them works. And, the best athletes in the world come back from that and they find their form again. And that's kind of what trading is a lot. Going through, really good times, bad times, good times, bad times. But being able to operate through all those times, I think that's kind of where the consistency lies and the profitability lies, because a lot of people, when times are going good, they over leverage, and when times going bad, they over leverage as well to compensate for it as well, out of fear, and they over leverage during times going good because of greed. So if you kind of stay consistent, and the best way to stay consistent is just having a plan and sticking to that plan and that routine. Because, my plan's my guiding compass. If I'm down or if I'm up, I'm still looking to follow the plan. And that kind of keeps me sane. But, the hardest bit about trading is the consistency part. They say December is less volatile. Yes, it will be less volatile, close to the end of the month, 100%. When it's coming up to Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's, a lot of big players will be taking time off, and a lot of people will be taking time off in general. So it's 100% understandable. But the first kind of 2-3 weeks of December, this week, next week, and probably the week after that as well. Let me just check the old calendar. This week, next week is the 11th to the 15th. The week after that, 18th to the 22nd. I reckon the first 3 weeks we'll probably see some nice momentum. And then the last week of December, which is the 25th, so Christmas, to the 29th. And then you've got the weekend 30th, 31st, and then the 1st of January, which is a Monday. So I reckon the last week of December plus maybe half of the first week of January until like the 2nd or the 3rd, then things are back swinging again. Things are back in flow. So yeah, the last week of December, I can see definitely a big drop of momentum there. But the first 2-3 weeks, you still should see some nice moves. Anus, I started collecting data since April, made 20% since then, gone through a losing streak on October. November was flat for me and no trades till now on December. Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine. That's consistency. With trading, again, you're going to have times where things are going good, as I mentioned, and you make a bunch of percentage, and sometimes where things are a little bit difficult. You have to be a bit more on the defensive side of things, not trying to force things happen. And again, 90% of trading is just your decision making. Can you focus on staying consistent with a good decision on a consistent basis? And if you can protect your profits when you make them, and protect your downside when you're in drawdown, then you're 90% of the way there. And of course, all the trading is just tweaking, making things more efficient as well. And you do that forever. I tweaked my strategy this year, tweaked my strategy last year, tweaked my strategy the year before that, and the year before that as well. I'm always looking to tweak and improve. Nothing crazy though. You don't want to switch up too crazy, because that's where you find your consistency. But if you can make small little advances and adjustments, then yeah, you can look to improve your equity curve, improve your returns. But yeah, sometimes things will be harder as well. Even if you do make a tweak, doesn't mean you're not going to take losses or go through losing streaks as well. You still will run into trouble. A little fly tried flying my face there. Anyway, let me go through Euro AUD, and there was another pair that I mentioned. Aussie dollar I'll take a look at as well. Morning, Zach. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, especially after yesterday's match. So true. That was horrendous. Yesterday. Chelsea was so poor, embarrassing. Nice little goal from Cole Palmer, but the game was horrendous. Man United actually looked good. We made Man United look good, which is unacceptable. Fips don't lie. What's up? Oh, Team United, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Long time no see. One of the OGs on the stream. My bias in Euro USD bullish. I'll take a look at Euro in a bit of detail, no problem. We got 85 watching. Let's match the likes. Appreciate it, Sculpey. Like if you're finding Miko helpful on your trading journey, appreciate it. If you are enjoying the channel, please be sure to drop a like. It is appreciated. What's up, MKKM? Have you taken any trades today? No, I have not. No position myself. I was actually looking at Euro AUD, some shorts for this guy, but unfortunately for myself, the entry occurred outside of my session. I start trading from 8 a.m. London time, and I finish 5 p.m. London time. And I got the entry signal here, I think on the 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock close. So we had a nice bearish engulfing, so I could take it there. But sometimes I wait for the next candle for a bit more momentum, so I probably would have waited for this candle. But again, I'm still asleep at this time. This closed at 7 a.m. and I don't get into the charts until 8 a.m. So yeah, kind of missed the entry there for Euro AUD. Maybe we do come back up again, but I'm not too sure if we will. But yeah, this pair was on the watch list this week. Still is on the watch list, of course. I'm looking for a move back down to these areas here. Had a nice break of structure last week with this bearish candle, looking at simply a retest of this level for another move lower. But unfortunately, the entry candle happened whilst I was still snoring a little bit. Again, I have kind of measured my window. I know the best opportunities happened between 8 and 5. There are, of course, opportunities throughout the trading day. Some in the Asian session, some a little bit before the London, some a little bit after, or a little bit deep into New York session. I'm fine missing out of those trades because I know the best ones are the best ones for me are probably 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m. That's probably where the best trades form, but sometimes there are some good ones closer to 5. And again, I can afford to stay in the charts a little bit longer. But yeah, unfortunately did miss on the trade there. But in terms of my bias, EUR/AUD, I'm looking at more downside into these lows here, at least back into the swing low from the pullback. And if you can break through that, I'm looking near enough the 162 mark as well. But yeah, EUR/AUD for me, pretty bearish. I'm waiting for pound AUD to break out as well. This one's been ranging from the beginning of time, it feels like. The market has been just moving sideways, so I'm kind of waiting for the bigger breakout for this one. I was hoping it would be this week, but looks like I have to stay a bit more patient. But I'm looking for something like this for pound Aussie. I'm looking for pound Aussie to follow Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie's broken to the downside. I think pound Aussie will most likely do the same thing. Get some shorts into here, similar to Euro CHF. Euro CHF broke to the downside, and now pound CHF looks like it's following behind and breaking to the downside as well. So I'm going to keep a close eye on pound CHF for a bigger move to these lows. But yeah, for EUR/AUD, I'm looking at some more downside. So in terms of entries, probably want price to come back up again. If not, I think the ship might have sailed here. The ship might have sailed. Trains left the station. But yeah, I'm pretty bearish on that. Okay, so I'll go through Aussie dollar, then take a look at Euro USD. It's always a pleasure going here, supporting you, bro. I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. JPY was moving today. Yes, it was. DXY and pound USD. I'll go through some dollar pairs. Yeah, yen pairs were moving today, and they're looking interesting. I've been favoring some counter trend moves to the downside for yen pairs. And again, it's not me like being a fortune teller or anything. It's just that the fact the market's gone so high, I'm not really interested in buying anymore. Certainly as a swing trader anyway, I'm not really interested in buying anymore the yen pairs. So I've kind of just been waiting for bigger moves to the downside. And again, I've been calling some counter trend moves for yen pairs for at least a month, maybe even a month and a half. So we have seen some upside. I've been patient, waiting for them to kind of correct themselves. And it looks like we're coming into that phase, especially with CAD Yen here. I think CAD Yen is at the top of my list for the yen pairs for some shorts. Now that we've broken out that range, I'm simply looking for us to come back into the low here, which we're not too far away from. So I'm looking for some pullbacks and some continuations. Swiss yen, I like the break to the downside as well. Similar pullbacks as well. Aussie yen, I missed the short there yesterday. It didn't quite come into the level, unfortunately, but big move to the downside. And yeah, I think that's the main pairs I'm looking at. And the JPY, nice move to the downside. Of course, I'm not looking to take a part of all of the yen pairs, just the best ones. Anyway, so EUR/AUD, I'll go for Aussie dollar. We'll take a look at Euro USD as well. So Aussie dollar for myself is still a pair that I'm not looking to buy. I'm actually looking for some more downside for this one. I'm keeping an eye on price action at this area here for some sells. And the reason why I'm not looking to buy Aussie dollar, because again, Euro USD, pound USD, I'm pretty bullish I'm pretty bullish on those pairs. But Aussie dollar doesn't make any sense from a higher time frame point of view for me to be looking to buy at the moment. If we can break some structure higher, then yeah, then maybe. But Aussie dollar for me is still pretty much a bearish market. So if you look at this, we're seeing lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. So I'm still expecting more downside until something crazy happens. And then of course, I will reevaluate, reanalyze and see where we go from there. But Aussie dollar's come back into this upper trend line here. We're testing some nice areas in the weekly there as well. So I'm looking at some downside for Aussie dollar, at least back into this level here, then possibly the lows down there as well. So yeah, I'm looking at some more downside for Aussie dollar, something like this, just continue with this bearish trend here. We've had a nice break of structure off of these lows. And now I'm looking to see if we can continue this bearish move to the downside. Maybe go bullish after that, because I do expect to see dollar weaken eventually. So maybe we do see Aussie dollar do something like this, or maybe we do see Aussie dollar breakthrough. We'll wait and see. But nonetheless, from a kind of a inch-week, even day trading point of view, I do still favor more downside for Aussie dollar, at least until we break structure. Then I'll reevaluate. But yeah, that's kind of my point of view on Aussie dollar. Euro USD, I'm expecting the exact opposite. Price come back to a very, very nice area of broken resistance turn support. As you can see, we broke through a lot of momentum. Never had the retest till now. Now I'm expecting a bigger move for Euro USD back to the highs. I know my bias for Aussie dollar and Euro USD doesn't quite make sense, but hey, I'm dealing with the price action here. I take my trades according to the price. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. As long as I manage my risk and I'm taking a high quality trade, I can't really complain at the end of the day. But with Euro, if we can start to see price break higher, then I'm interested in some buys. Of course, we could still keep falling. But if we do see price starting gaining some bullish momentum, I'm interested in a big swing to the upside back to 1.1 for Euro. And something similar for pound USD as well. Looking for that big move higher back to 1.27224. However, I did want pound USD to pull back a little bit deeper back into this area. But it doesn't look like I'll be able to take advantage of pound USD just because it hasn't retraced enough for me. Euro has, therefore that's what I'm going to focus on. So that is the plan for Euro USD and pound and Aussie dollar. Okay, where was I then? I'll take a look at the DXY. Miko, why are you doing all of that for free? You mean the streaming? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even for free, really, because I still get paid off YouTube ads. Not a lot of money, of course, but I still get some money from YouTube ads. But again, I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel, to be fair. And kind of trading gave me a good excuse to have one, because I've been looking to have a YouTube channel. Originally, I was going to do like a gaming channel when I was younger, like early teens, like not a gaming channel, but mainly FIFA, which is gaming, of course, but not like crazy. But yeah, I wanted to do like a FIFA channel, but then again, I didn't really convince myself, wasn't really motivated to do it. Not motivated, I was motivated, but kind of to take that leap and be vulnerable online and share your content. But after leaving university and then focusing on trading, I do have a lot of spare time, and why not start the YouTube channel and do it according to trading? Because again, it at least benefit each other, because if I'm doing content about trading, I already trade. That's two birds, one stone. I've got the time to do it, might as well do it. So that's kind of the reason why I started with the YouTube channel, because I always wanted to do one, didn't know what really to do it about. And then after leaving university, I've got the time to do it. So it made sense to start then. But yeah, that's kind of why I started doing the YouTube channel. But of course, I do have my answers on, so I do make a little bit of money from YouTube. Not a lot though, but the reason why I started it is because I've got the time to do it now. Entity Chef Andreas, of course, will take a look. He's a legend here. If you swing, you understand what his bias is. He's doing it since the beginning of his stream back years ago. He's the best. I love this man. I appreciate it, my man. I still remember when I first started trading, good old days. Yeah. Time does fly though. Time does fly, because it doesn't feel like I've been on the YouTube for 3 years. I mean, I sound ancient. But yeah, I appreciate it. TN United. It's rare to find person like him. I appreciate it, so yeah, I'm nothing special, quote unquote. I just trade and do YouTube as well. Do you still play console? No, I don't actually. I mean, my brother's taken my console, to be honest, so yeah, I don't play anymore. I stopped when I went to university, so I haven't played in ages. To be honest, actually. Last time I played, It's good, at least 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, those days are over. But yeah, my brother's taken my console, so even if I wanted to, I'd have to get a new one. But he's gone to university and he's taken the console with him. So yeah, I don't really play anymore. But yeah, I'll take a look at NZCHF. What else? I went through Pound USD. I'll go through DXY. Shurat, what's up? Any ideas on Euro CHF and Euro Pound? Okay, we'll touch on that. Euro CHF, I'm not really looking at anymore. Of course, I'll take a look at it myself, but it's come back to some prices. I think we've made some new all-time lows for Euro CHF, if I'm not mistaken. Almost. These are prior all-time lows, and you can see prices literally just wicked into it. So I'm not interested in price action anymore. Trend is still down, but do I want to short? No, not really. Do I anticipate a buy? No, not really either. So I'm kind of just waiting for more information with Euro CHF. Possibly might do something like this and see some higher highs. Yes, but I do want to see some bullish structure first before I consider that. At the moment, Euro CHF is still way too bearish for me to consider buying, and it's too far low for me to consider selling as well. So yeah, not interested with Euro CHF myself. Of course, not that you can't find a trade here, just I won't be able to find something that fits my plan very well in this particular situation. I'll touch on Euro Pound, but I was meant to go through DXY first. So yeah, for the DXY, I'm looking at some more downside for this one. Coming to the week, I was hoping for the retest of this level. Not too sure we'll see that anymore. I mean, we still do have NFP. We do have some news coming up later, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big move higher to come back down. But I wouldn't, of course, bet on it. But in terms of my direction, my directional bias, I'm looking for DXY to come lower, back to 102,600, and then further as well. I think possibly we could come back to the lows here. Again, I don't need to see that far into the future here. My job isn't to identify where the market's going, just find good opportunities really. So possibly we could be coming back to the lows here, but I'm just going to be focused on this low until we get there. Then I'll readjust, reanalyze, and go from there. But yeah, DXY, I do think a low high is imminent. Whether it's going to be here or we're going to move a little bit higher, it's still yet to be seen in my opinion. If we can start breaking, and we have broken some structure, if we can start forming some lower highs, then yeah, then we can possibly see the move. But again, DXY isn't necessarily that important to me. It's more what Euro USD and the dollar pairs are doing. If Euro USD can start doing something like this, then happy days, I can find a trade. But until then, I have to be patient. Nothing's quite ideal there. Okay, so I'll go through NZCHF, Andreas. Now I'll take a look at Euro Pound, Poetic Soul. I like the name, Poetic Soul. Nice, very poetic. Okay, yeah, Dolly Yen I'll take a look at. Remember the chat. He is also guest speaker on Nick's channel. Yes, and that reminds me, I am going to be on Nick's channel again later today. So if you guys are free, feel free to pop in the stream. I'll probably be live in probably a couple hours from now. So if you guys are still on the charts, want to see an update with the news, of course, see how the news price is in and see what if anything's changed with the bias or anything, feel free to hop into his stream. I will post a link to his stream on my Telegram as well. Drop some game content with GTA 6 comes out. Yeah, I saw that. I looked at the trailer. I thought I was dreaming for a second. I thought GTA 6 is just a myth, but no. It's actually going to come out. But yeah, that'll be funny, to be fair. I mean, I've seen some people do that. They stream their trading, but they also play games as well in the stream. Because again, with trading, you know what you're looking for, so you can go. You can of course get some gaming time in, and then of course when your setup is forming, back to the charts. I think GTA might be a little bit too a little bit too unappropriate for the old channel. I want to keep it family friendly, you know. Anyway, so I'll go through entity chef. Babiag, I just had a look at pound USD a few moments ago. If you scroll back a little bit, you'll see the analysis to it. I'll be there because of you, buddy, on NYSE. Appreciate it, Fibs. Sculpey, appreciate it. I hope to see some of the gang there. A little shout out. Okay, let me go take a look at New Zealand Swiss. So yeah, New Zealand Swiss. Yeah, for this one I'm still bearish, but price action ain't great, to be honest. You can see if I zoom out, overall trend is down, so the bias is pretty self-explanatory there. However, we failed to break through the lows, which again, as I've said earlier in the stream, when the trend fails to break through the prior low or the prior high, it's a sign that the trend is starting to lose strength and not going to reverse, but it's a sign that the trend may be looking to meet its match and may be looking to switch directions. So when I do see a trend forming equal highs or equal lows, I'm kind of backing off. Doesn't mean the trend's over. Suddenly we might see a strong push to the downside like this, breaking for the lows. Fantastic. Then the next pullback, I'm interested to short because I know the trend's back alive again. But I want to see the trend, come back alive before I try and anticipate anything. So yeah, with entity chef myself, not really liking the pair. This kind of happened with Aussie CAD as well. You can see here Aussie CAD, nice bearish trend, equal low, big push to the upside. We did this with another pair. I forget which one. Yeah, but normally when dollar yen as well. Dollar yen, big move to the upside, equal highs there. Not a good sign the trend's going to continue. We've seen a big move to the downside. Now, again, doesn't mean that dollar yen can't do something like this, but again, I don't really want to be in that trade. So yeah, with New Zealand Swiss forming those equal lows, not a good sign here, and overall the momentum is very, very sluggish, very corrective. For me, not really showing me a lot of sign of good momentum, either up or down. So again, if this is me analyzing this for myself, and of course not streaming, I would quickly move on to another pair. There is a higher time frame trend about it, but 4H looking very choppy. Hourly looking just as choppy here. I'm not seeing much clarity in this pair. So yeah, you might find a nice trade with it, but myself, I'm not a big fan of the price action here. Very, very choppy. Very, very choppy. Let me know what your bias is, Andreas, with entity chef. Looking to short, buy. I mean, I can understand looking to short, but price action ain't great. I'll go over dollar yen. Poetic Soul. Euro pound as well. I'll take a look at Euro pound first. Thoughts on GTA 6 trailer? It was not a bad trailer, to be fair. I mean, looking at it against the GTA 5 trailer, it's a big contrast. But yeah, it just looks weird. I mean, it looks like it's like actual kind of just America, like kind of the rough kind of situation of America. But I don't know. I've never been to America. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what you expect from GTA. So, to be fair, I never really played much GTA when I was younger. I wasn't allowed GTA in my house. The only time I used to play GTA was if I went to my friend's house. But I'm a big boy now, so I can make that decision myself. GTA 6 will be the reason why I'll be buying a PS5. That's basically what I do at the moment. Without the streaming part, smashing Modern Warfare 3 while waiting for setups. Nice. Again, I mean, to be fair, it does kind of make sense as well, because at least with the gaming as well, you're not kind of looking to force any trades, and it's quite a nice blend because I do that as well. I do play a lot of chess actually. That's kind of like my gaming console, which is very, very weird, I know, but I do play a lot of chess, and normally when I'm waiting for setups, playing chess kind of helps, takes my mind away. And online chess as well, not real life chess. It's the same game, of course, but just against people online. What do I think about gold? Okay, we'll go over gold. I'm still pretty bullish on that one, but not seeing a clear setup. Never traded NZCHF, but yeah, that's going to the graveyard. Yeah, it's not great. The price action ain't great. Andreas looking to short it back at least 0.53. I really like the daily wick and the fake out. Yeah, I think that's the only thing going for it, really. The conditions nonetheless aren't great, but this here is a big fake above that high, and possibly price is gearing up for a move to the downside there. So I can definitely make sense of that. But yeah, it doesn't really change my overall kind of opinion on the pair. It's just very choppy. And of course, after a fake out normally as well, you do want to kind of see the move follow through pretty swiftly after. So for example, when we do have the fake out, you don't want to see the market take so long to kind of show the opposite move, because the whole kind of point of a fake out is to trap people one way so we can go the other. So if we've already trapped people going the other way, we should have come down by now. And that's not necessarily a rule of thumb, but it's normally what happens with fake outs. The price doesn't normally take its time to eventually see the move, and it isn't normally very corrective as well. Normally when we fake out, the move is pretty swift in the other direction. It doesn't normally consolidate like this, so that's another red flag, I would say. But yeah, it's a big fake out to the upside. We're still firing wicks on the daily time frame at this area, so essentially we are still holding that level, which again might mean we do take off lower. But yeah, myself, I'm not quite convinced, and it's just very choppy. So my focus is elsewhere. But of course, if it looks good to you, fits the plan well, do what you need to do as long as you're managing risk. Worst thing that happens, you take a loss, you move on to the next trade. But let me go through Euro Pound. So yeah, Euro Pound's actually on the watch list for myself as well coming into the week. I was looking to short Euro Pound, still am looking to short Euro Pound, but we've kind of just been moving sideways all week, so it hasn't really been much for me to do. But essentially, I was looking for a pullback for some more downside to 0.853. But you can see the price action this week is being absolutely dreadful. We've had a big move to the downside, so I was looking for a little bit of life come back into Euro Pound before we do continue the sell off. But yeah, it's just been moving sideways, so there's not much for me to do really for Euro Pound. Pound CAD, I've been looking to long this one. It hasn't been great as well, just a lot of consolidation. Haven't found a good entry. I hope we can break higher before I do pull back and look for some longs. Pound NZD, the short happened Wednesday. I was getting ready to leave the house there, so I missed the trade there, unfortunately. But a nice retest at that level. I'm still looking for Pound NZD to head back to the lows there. Euro Pound, we just went over that one. Pound CHF, I've waited for the breakout. Now I'm looking to see what we can do in the retest. Hopefully find some nice sales back down there again. And of course, UAD, the trade entry happened outside of my hours there as well. But those are the main pairs I'm looking at. Some dollar pairs have become interesting as well. By the way, follow me on TradingView if you want to. Just feel free to search my name, Miko Aodu, and it will come up. Or there's a link to it in the description below. But yeah, Euro Pound, I'm looking for this. A nice break of structure there. But yeah, I need to see a bigger pullback for this one before I do anything. Okay, so I'll go through gold, dollar, yen, and yeah, I'll go for gold and dollar, yen. What's up, Zart? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Miko, look into Euro AUD. Okay, I'll quickly go over that one. I'll wrap it up with those ones. But yeah, Euro AUD, I was looking for a trade. As I mentioned, the entry signal happened 7 a.m., which I don't get to the charts until 8 a.m., so I missed it by an hour. But potentially might still come back up again and test it. But essentially, Euro AUD, I do think there's a nice move to the downside here. It's a nice close in the 4H time frame, so entry on the 4H would make a lot of sense as well. But essentially, I do think Euro AUD is getting ready to roll over. Had a nice break of structure last week. Simply looking for a pullback for the continuation lower. The first real target, this low here. Probably look at this area here as well on the lower time frames. But Swing back to low there makes a lot of sense, and I do think we can see some more downside beyond that part as well. But yeah, Euro AUD, my bias is pretty bearish. Dollar yen, I've been talking about price coming back to 145. Now that we're at that area, we might see some buys here. But again, do I want to buy dollar yen now? Absolutely not. It's a nice level where we could see a bounce. Again, we do have this bullish ascending channel, so you can see higher highs and higher lows. Now we're back into this area, of course, retesting the prior high here, now turn support. Maybe dollar yen does want to continue the uptrend, maybe. But I do want to see evidence of that happening first before I jump into anything. So a bullish engulfing candle won't quite do it for me because there's still a lot of bearish momentum at play. So I do want to see some signs that, oh, did not mean to do that. I do want to see some signs that we are at least forming some equal lows, higher lows as well. And then we could be jumping into some longs, taking it back to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm looking for next for dollar yen. If not, if we have a big breakout here, then maybe the floodgates do open. And we're looking at price coming to 138s, 137s. Because again, if we are going to react big time off this level, you know, we could see something equally as big back down again. But we need to break through this level here first. And then we can plan something from that. But yeah, this is a pivotal level. Whether we're looking for buys or sells, it probably will shape up pretty soon. Maybe NFP will pick the direction for us, and then we'll look into, and again, you don't need to be the first one into the trade either. If we are going to sell off, there's a long way to go. We're looking at about 600 pips to the downside. We're looking at maybe 500 back up again. Nope, 700 almost to the upside. So you don't need to be a part of all those pips. You can, you know, find your piece of the cake and then, you know, go about your trading day. But yeah, I'll finish off with gold. So gold, as I said, pretty bullish. Looking at more upside back to the highs here, 2077. We've got nice confluence here for the higher low. Let me just go back to the daily time frame. So we've got, of course, the higher highs. Ooh, higher highs and higher lows. Come back to a nice area of confluence. Nice bounce there. Now, essentially, I'm looking at us going back to the highs there. However, price action has been quite rough, as I've been mentioning. I want to see some momentum come back in, whether we're going to move down first to go up, or we're going to move up straight away and then look for some pullbacks. Either which way, yeah, I'm only looking to buy gold at this moment in time and take this guy higher. So if I can see something like that, then I'm interested in longs. I can't really maneuver around the price action here. It's just way too corrective. Nothing really doing it for me. So yeah, I'm looking for gold either to come back and retest the area and then look for the buys after, or let's start breaking through and see some pullbacks. But I am looking at another big move to the upside for gold, just as silver as well. Maybe they might set up after the news, but still too early to say. Same thing for euro and pound as well. But yeah, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. Appreciate my moderators helping out. Anus, appreciate it. Sculpey, appreciate it as well. Yeah, make sure you go do like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I really do appreciate everyone who has liked, subscribed to the channel recently as well. And of course, not even recently, just in general. If you have liked and subscribed, it really does help out the channel. If you are free in the next hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, I will be live again with Nick on his channel. So go jump on that. I'll post the link to that stream in my Telegram. So make sure you are there. Link to the Telegram in the description. But nonetheless, guys, I will be live again next week as always. I will be live throughout December. Maybe the last week I might call it off a little bit. I haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens. If the market's dead, then yeah, I might take the last week off, but we'll see. But yeah, have a fantastic day. Watch out for some news at 1:30. Watch out for NFP on Friday. But have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.